a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Bulls of San Diego taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. You look at this Packers defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
From the shotgun, Richardson.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. And it appears they'll go for it here on fourth down. A big call on the game's opening drive.
Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
Let's go. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Hoover. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
The Packers sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Oh, good move. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Hoover hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Hoover.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
Despite some fast footwork, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They go play action with Richardson.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, this defense for the Packers very strong in that victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3. You look at this Packers defense.
Well, they've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem? When they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
Set for the second quarter, San Diego in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, it's Richardson.
And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Come on.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but trying to fit it into more, but it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
Quick throw completed by Richardson.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the Packers' 1-yard line.
Let's go now. Hurt.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Richardson now on 3rd and goal.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And his kick is indeed good, and it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Operating from the gun. Hoover.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field, That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hoover. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Hoover working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
On 1st and 10, Hoover. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. 20. 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what a game this has turned out to be for him. Remember, CD, he had the turnover earlier, and now the pick six, that's the cherry on top.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. And when you force a turnover on defense, you're the guy most excited about getting back out there and trying to force another one. How about him picking off that pass, setting his sights on the end zone? You know he wasn't going to be denied getting there either.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Hoover. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Richardson now on 2nd down. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something being shut out right now. They could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. First down now, but that clock rolling. Looking to throw. Hoover. Can't get away, and he's taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them. and they get their first sack of the contest.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got Dobbs over the middle. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Buffalo 18.
They'll send Watson in motion right.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
That is caught, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter.
And the fair catch signaled for and taken, so they'll begin this 3rd quarter from their 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Second down and 8.
Operating from the gun. Hoover.
He'll complete this one to Watson.
That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on third down, Hoover. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now it's Richardson.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Richardson looking to throw this.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
To throw on 2nd down. Hoover. His throw incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Hoover. And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these
And now off to the races down the right side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Bulls go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Ryland, up and good.
And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Hoover. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
On 3rd down, Hoover.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Packers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And Jones with a first down carry, and he's going to wind up losing a couple as he's stopped behind the line.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Hoover. And now here's another interception. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
From the 25, here's second down and 3. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here. But I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by.
And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only have they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25.
Come on, set.
Throwing after the interception. Hoover.
That's taken in by Watson.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing on first down. Hoover. Buying time. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Looking to throw on second down. Hoover. This one is caught. It's Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Let's go now.
2nd and 10.
69, 69. Ready.
Throwing again. Hoover. Catch made by Watson on the out route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Back to throw again. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. His third rushing touchdown on the year and 4th overall. And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
The Packers keeping the offense out there now as he'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Ready? Go, Lee. Go, set, triple.
And they take a knee. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal?
Hey, check that.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Through an opening, and there he goes. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Come on. Hey. Let's go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Ready.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Let's go now.
Here's 1st and 10.
Second Pirates. Go street.
Throwing to start the drive. Hoover. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they get some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for our